I'm Kimberly with the Fat Quarter Shop, and today I'm going to show you how to machine bind your quilts. After our first video on hand binding, we got lots of requests on how to machine bind. So I'm going to show you how today. It's very fast and it looks just as great. So let's get started. We sent our quilt top to a long arm quilter and they quilted all 3 layers together. Now when we get it back, we trim 3/8 inch from the outside of the quilt top. So you've got batting and backing extending outside from your quilt top. So we're going to cut each of our corners like this, and this is approximately 1/2 inch away from the edge, and this is going to reduce bulk on your corners. Today we're going to be using 2.5 inch strips. So to calculate how many binding strips you need, you're going to take the perimeter of your quilt, add 15 inches, and then divide by 40 inches, which is the width of your fabric. So in today's quilt, we have a perimeter of 80 inches. So we're going to take 80 inches plus 15 and divide by 40. That's going to give us 2.4 strips, but we're going to round up and that's going to give us 3 strips. So we've gone ahead and cut our strips. Then you're going to take your strips and join them together on the diagonal and press open. Now you'll take your strips, put wrong sides together, and press together. For time-saving tips, you can also watch our video on how to use the Simplicity Bias Tape Maker. Now your strips will look like this, and we're ready to attach them to our quilt. So on the front of the quilt, we're going to align our binding strip right on the edge of the quilt top with our raw edges touching. We're going to start our stitching approximately 2.5 inches from the edge, and so we'll have a little tail hanging off. We're going to be using a walking foot, a 2.5 stitch length, and we're also going to use a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Today, we're going to be using contrasting thread, but we usually would use matching thread to our binding. Now we're going to start stitching and we're going to back stitch at the beginning to secure our stitch. And when you're going, you just want to make sure you keep your raw edge right on the edge of the quilt top. When you get to your corners, you're going to mark a 1/4 inch away from the edge. So we're going to sew directly to this line. We're going to leave the needle down and we're going to reverse off the quilt and cut. So now you're going to fold over at a 45-degree angle. You're going to just gently press, then you're going to pull back, and you're going to have a perfect 90-degree angle. So we're going to start sewing right on the edge of our binding and just continue sewing with a 1/4 inch seam. We're going to sew until we have a 5 to 6 inch opening left, and we're going to back stitch at the end. So from your left tail, you're going to fold in approximately a 1/4 inch and just finger press. And then we're going to fold over and line everything up and press. We're going to take the right side of our binding and lay it on top of our left side. We're going to take our scissors and cut about 1.5 inches past the left side. Then we're going to just open the left side, tuck in the right side, and just ease it in together and press. So we're going to start stitching approximately here and end stitching approximately here. So now we're going to take our binding and press out. Now the first side of binding is attached. We're going to flip over our quilt and we're going to pin. So now you're going to take your binding and you're going to fold it 1/8 of an inch past your binding stitch line. So this is where we attached our binding. Fold it over and go 1/8 of an inch past. Hold it in place, and using pins, we're going to pin from the inside to the outside. Now pinning is an important step. If you don't pin correctly, your binding's not going to stay down. So you got to take your time and just really go slowly at this. You want to make sure when you put your pins in that they're straight and not on the diagonal. So when you're at your corner, you want to fold over and pin once on the next side. And then it automatically will make a 45-degree miter. You want to look underneath and make sure you're still 1/8 of an inch away from your stitch line. Put your pin right in the miter and pin it diagonally out to the outside. So now we're going to just continue pinning all the way around the edge, and I've got a label and I'm going to put it in right at the end. So now we've pinned all the way around and we're going to turn to the right side. We're going to be sewing this last step with the right side up. In our top thread, we're going to use red thread that matches our outer border, and our bobbin thread is going to match our binding. So we're going to stitch right to the left of the binding. Now for your first stitch, you're going to put your needle right into the edge. You're going to make a few stitches and back stitch. When you get to your corner, I'm just going to hand control the needle and go into the very outermost red point. Put your needle down and pivot and keep sewing all the way around. We are all done. I love this machine binding technique. Thank you so much to Debbie Taylor from our customer service department for teaching us this technique. With this, you're going to be able to spend less time stitching and more time enjoying your quilt. See you next time.